Folks, thanks for coming on the line with us today. My name is John Dubas with Premier Marketing. We're going to be spending the next hour or so discussing the possibilities you have to grow your income with dual SNP sales, with dual special needs sales. We have a special guest presenter with us today, but I'd like to do a little bit of homework or background work up front. Keep in mind that we do have all attendees on mute. A lot of times we catch background noise otherwise. If you have a question, please enter it into the question box on the webinar, and we will be distributing answers to all of those questions along with additional follow-up after today's webinar. So bear with us and we'll make certain that we get all your questions answered. A little bit of information as a preface about Premier Marketing. If you're not familiar with us, I recognize a number of the names that are already contracted with our organization on the call, but we are one of the largest national marketing organizations in the country. We're celebrating our 50th anniversary this year. We're part of the Integrity Marketing Platform, which means we have investment dollars behind us. We have offices across the country, and we work with independent insurance agents providing access to different insurance programs through our organization. The contracts we offer are at the highest possible commission levels, and there are recruiting contracts available. As I mentioned, we are celebrating our 50th anniversary this year. Go to our website at premiersmi.com and listen to a wonderful video. We won't take time to do that today, but there's a neat way to access a lot of information about our organization through that website. We are, as I mentioned, one of the largest organizations in the country, and we're the largest producer with United Healthcare, with Anthem, with Meridian Care, and one of the largest producers as well with Aetna, Humana, and a number of other carriers on the Medicare Advantage platform. We do offer a full portfolio of product available for you, the Medicare programs, of course, but additional life insurance, short and long-term care, disability income, and a full portfolio of ancillary benefits for you as well. Very helpful for you at this time of year, particularly. That full Medicare portfolio is listed on the board here. You will also find that information at our website. As I mentioned, these are Medicare Advantage carriers, along with a full portfolio of Part D PDP carriers as well. When you look across the board to take care of all your folks in the Medicare arena, we do offer an incredibly robust listing of Medicare supplement carriers as well. And bear with me a second, I'm frozen here for a second. There we go. What we're going to do today, obviously, as part of the communication that went out to you, is spend time discussing a dual special needs plan. And we have with us here today one of our partners from United Healthcare in the community plan. He's a longtime acquaintance of mine. I'm proud to call him a friend. And he's going to be talking to you about a series of programs through a number of states on United Healthcare's Community and States Dual Special Needs Plan. Gentleman's name is Steve Plochek. He's the Regional Sales Director for the Central Region. And this is the piece that lays out the map of where the product is available. At this point in time, you're going to be privileged by the fact that I'm actually going to shut up and I'm going to turn the information over to Steve. Steve, take it away.
Hey, John, thank you so much. I appreciate basically the opportunity to work with basically the agents with Premier, and I appreciate all of our attendees for being on the phone today. Before we get started, one thing I want to make certain that I do is explain the aspect of what is a dual SNP. What do we mean by DSNP? Top of this page, we talk about an individual who is dually eligible, who's eligible for Medicare and Medicaid. So that is a dual special needs plan, as John stated before. So I want to make sure everybody, I don't want to talk over anybody's head. I want you to, well, what do you mean DSNP? What are we talking about? And again, an individual on Medicare and on Medicaid. So you're seeing basically the map we have right now. Our blue are states that we are already in. We certainly did some expansion in 2018 in some of those states, but you also see the green. The green are states that were brand new to United for their dual SNP footprint. Go ahead, next slide, John. So we talk about that growth. We talk about what happened in 2018. We talk about 448 counties, from the expansion, and you see the blue and you see the green of where we specifically, added more territory to our footprint. Next slide. If we look at basically a competitor landscape, go ahead, one more slide, one more click, John. If you look at that, the competitor landscape and you see the footprint as you have partnered with Premier, one of the largest, one of the strongest basically organizations out there to support agents and business owners such as yourself. United Healthcare basically is that large organization. You can look at all the other membership between all the different competitors, and it doesn't even, it's still very well behind what United Healthcare has in this space. So we've certainly become that, that strong organization out there serving these individuals, supporting agents basically in this space. So basically that's what this landscape or competitor landscape shows. Next slide. So some of the benefits that we'll go over in a handful of the central region, or what we refer to as the central region, you'll see some of these value-added benefits. It's basically the first time that this type of plan was ever shown to me, which would have been probably sometime back around 2004 or 2005. I sat in the back of the room, crossed my arms, and said, "Hey, what the heck are we going to do for somebody on Medicare, Medicaid? Medicare covers 80%, 20% is covered by Medicaid. How can I better this situation?" Well, what a lot of the health plans have done, what all of the health plans have done is, they want to do something to, better that individual. So it's not just about doctors. While doctors are very important and networks are important and medications are very important, at the same time, it's giving these individuals more than what they would get on a Medicare or Medicaid plan. So some of the different benefits that we have, not in every one of our plans, not in every one of our markets, but you'll see this, and I'll try to highlight some of these as we go through. But we have basically an over-the-counter benefit that an individual could specifically access Walgreens, and I'll point these out as we go through. But to go and take this debit card, they get a quarterly amount of dollars, and they can use those dollars in a face-to-face manner. In the past, 2017, the only way an individual would truly access that over-the-counter catalog. So these would be things, like an example of maybe vitamins, maybe a blood pressure cuff, maybe a scale, maybe a water pick, things like that. But in the past, the way you would access that is either you would order it online or you would basically order it through the mail. We've selected several markets, and we're testing this pilot that an individual would actually take a debit card. They could walk into a Walgreens, things would be notified, specifically of what they'd be able to purchase. They're not buying beer or cigarettes in that scenario. But that's one of our benefits. Transportation, additional vision, acupuncture is new this year. And along with hearing, fitness, our regular OTC health catalog, product catalog. So that was what I was speaking of before, where you have this catalog, but you just order it. Well, that Walgreens debit card, you can actually walk into it. Healthy meals in some of our plans. Chiropractic is new for this year. Foot care, dental, and PERS, personal emergency response. This is a system which is basically, we probably know it a little bit better, is help me, I've fallen and I can't get up. So in some of our plans, you'll see that our members would have access to that plan. You can see that plan depending on where you are in the country, anywhere between, I've seen it, in the low 60s to mid $70 a month for that type of service. So we have that in some of our plans across the central region. Next slide, John. So I always kind of look at it in the aspect, and I think there's a bit of a misnomer out there that, yeah, I've kind of dabbled a little bit as an agent or an agency in this dual SNP space. And, yeah, we can go sign people up. But understand that a dual SNP eligible in 2018 can sign up year or month to month to month to month. This individual has an ongoing election period, is what we call it. And a lot of folks want to sit back and say, well, yeah, I signed them up, and then they cancel off my plan. Well, trust me, United Healthcare likes renewal checks, as every agent or agency likes renewal checks also. So some of the things we're doing to keep these individuals on our plans are basically in-home clinical visits, managed care model. Understand that this segment of our population, the way that a lot of times medicine is handled is they want to stop the bleeding. They go to the emergency room, that's it. There's no relationship with a physician. There's no oversight at all of an individual, and how their health basically is progressing, not degressing. All our plans are integrated with a Part B plan. There are, obviously, Medicare does allow carriers to offer plans out there that are MA only, that are just basically a Medicare Advantage with no drugs tied to it. All of United Healthcare's dual SNP plans have basically that medical and that drug tied to it. Our Star Navigator plan. So it's basically a retention team that is reaching out, and it is in all of our plans that are covered here in the central market that we'll go over today. But all in all, they're reaching out to our members. This is that stickiness aspect, that you have somebody that's calling your book of business saying, hey, did you know that you were eligible for this? Have you taken advantage of this? Hey, we see that you haven't ordered anything out of your catalog. Do you need some help? That's somebody that's helping me, and I look at every single one of you basically as an agent, as a business owner, and if you're partnering with somebody such as a Fortune 6 organization by the name of United Healthcare that's there to help you solidify, to maintain your book of business, to keep that renewal check going, those are things that I'm always interested with, or I would feel that you would be interested in as a business owner, or a way that you maintain and also even grow your business. Our health risk assessments, reaching out to these individuals and finding out specifically what their health is and making sure that we're doing everything we can to help them. Next slide, John. So we're going to get ready right now to go ahead and go to the next slide. We're going to slide through these specific markets here shortly. There's a handful of other markets that we're also doing business on, and I'm just not going to be able to have a chance with our time today to focus on those. But basically Nebraska, Iowa, Missouri, and Kansas. There's a total of 9 different states within the central region, what United calls the central region. But the ones that we'll highlight today will be obviously missing those 4. Again, those are Iowa. We certainly have plans there, Nebraska, Kansas, and Missouri. But let's go ahead and start out with Michigan today. Michigan was a brand new plan for us. You can see that there's 6 counties that we're in. The big thing that I want you to kind of look at on every one of these slides, John, and if you can move your cursor right up there, the estimated duals without a dual SNP plan, a little bit lower. Yeah, bottom line is there. I want you to be looking at that. So that's basically an individual out there, because when I look at this map, I'm all in it. If I'm on the phone, such as you, John and I certainly were agents back in the day. That's where we started our relationship. And I owe a whole lot to Mr. John Dobos in that aspect. But back to our point here, that's what I look at as a business owner, is what is the potential? What is the opportunity? So as we go through these slides, depending on where you're located or where your footprint is, I think that's something you certainly want to be thinking about. Go ahead, next slide, John. So if we look at some of these benefits, just so you kind of know how our presentation's going, if it's green, you see the green dots down the middle, that's improved. Well, if it's a brand new market, there's nothing to compare it with. Of course, it's improved. You won't see any degraded or any benefits that were dropped between 2017 and 2018. You will see some of our plans that are going to stay flat, that didn't degrade, but also didn't increase. But when we go into a brand new market, such as a Michigan, you see that we just have our catalog benefit there. You're looking at $1,500 worth of dental, $200 every 2 years, $2,000 every 2 years regarding hearing, transportation, a nurse line, acupuncture, and chiropractor. Now, the way that those 2 benefits work there is specifically in the aspect that you have 10 visits that a member would basically use however they wanted to. It could be all 10 acu. It could be all 10 chiropractor. It could be 5 and 5. It would be up to them, but again, no charge for any of these additional benefits. Understand, an individual ballpark in a range, probably depending what state you're in, I would say probably less than $12,000 household income. They don't have money to make a copayment. They don't have money to do a cost share. All right, so understand, we're not on a dual SNP plan. You're very rarely, and even my competitor is going to see a scenario where that you would, as a carrier, ask basically one of these individuals to pull money out of their pocket. This is one of our markets that has that PERS, that personal emergency response, that help me, I've fallen and can't get up benefit. Next slide, John. So now we go to the great state of Ohio. Again, look at where those eligibles are, that estimated dual eligibles without a dual SNP plan. So again, that's not United Healthcare. That's any. That's any competitor. That's anybody. That individual sitting out there, what we call fee for service, just straight red, white, and blue Medicare and Medicaid. They're having a chance to take advantage of any of these value-added benefits. Again, we're not taking away anything that they have. We're adding to what they receive. Next slide, John. So we have two different plans in the market, but you can see I'm just going to kind of highlight some of the upgrades basically to the plan. They increase basically our over-the-counter benefits. That's $240 basically a quarter. So let's stop real quick and explain, how does that actually work? Is it use it or lose it after the quarter? Most certainly it isn't. So if an individual joined, let's just say January 1st, they get $240. Let's say that individual didn't access any of that benefit. We move into second quarter, another $240, third quarter, fourth quarter. So now they're sitting in, let's just say December. Let's say it's right after the annual election period, AEP. It's the 10th of December. That individual is sitting on top of $960 that they could access through their over-the-counter catalog. No charge to them. And in this scenario, they don't have the little debit card by it. They would just go through their catalog, or they could go online and order that. Now, if we moved into 2019, they would lose it. Let's say they signed up in March, the last month of the first quarter. They would get that full amount. We aren't prorating that amount basically for the quarter. And understand, quarter to quarter, it carries over. Some of your plans out there, some of your non-dual plans, just your regular Medicare Advantage prescription drug plans out there, a lot of those plans might have an OTC benefit. A lot of times you won't see it as rich quarterly as you will see on a dual SNP plan, but a lot of times also what you'll see is it doesn't carry over quarter to quarter. It's use it or lose it by the quarter. On the dual SNP plan, through the community and state United Healthcare plans, that money carries over quarter to quarter to quarter. You lose it at the end of the year. Some more of our benefits are our dental went up from $1,500 to $2,000, for dental. Hearing basically also went up, hearing stayed the same. Our vision went up from $200 to $250. They also have the transportation, the nurse line, acupuncture, and chiro were new, and we also added that PERS, that personal emergency response. Help me up falling and can't get up plan. Keep going, John. So this is our other plan that we have in the market. Again, you see very strong, aggressive plans. You'll see the benefits being very, very similar in this scenario. It basically is our plan that we did our expansion on. This is where you'll see that green. Those were new counties that basically we added to this Ohio plan. Go ahead. So we move over to the great state of Oklahoma, brand new for 2018. We added 8 counties that wrap around Oklahoma County, which is Oklahoma City. We currently are not in Tulsa. If you kind of look up to the northeast of the footprint that we have right now, currently we aren't in Tulsa. There is a lot of talk about it. Again, we can't basically really specific about 2019 benefits, a bit early in that scenario, but I would just say more to come as far as expansion in the state of Oklahoma. Again, look at that 32,000 individuals that could use what I say, your help. Could use you educating them on what their options are out there. And at the same time, always will be a sales guy, a way for you to basically grow basically your SEP income. Next slide, John. So we look at our benefits again, since it's a brand new market. We weren't there in 2017. Everything is going to be green. You see that OTC benefit. You see the dental of $1,500, $100 as far as vision every 2 years, $1,000 every 2 years for hearing. We have the transportation benefit, the 24-hour nurse line, again, the acupuncture and the chiropractic, 10 visits, however you want to use it between the two benefits. And this is a market that we also put in the Help Me I've Fallen and Can't Get Up PERS program. I think we'll be moving into the great state of Texas, if I'm not mistaken. We will be. So we have 11 different plans across the state, and I'll try to kind of, blanket that and show you exactly, where we really see, some of our opportunities. We added 15 new counties, a lot of that north of the Houston market, kind of southeast of what we would call the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. We did also add a really strong opportunity is Webb County down there on the border on the Rio Grande, which is also known as Laredo. So we'll kind of hop through a couple of these plans here to let you know what we have going on. Next slide, John. So we're going to start off in our El Paso market, and you see right at the top, this is one of our pilot markets that we have that debit card. None of the markets that I've gone over so far have that debit card, where an individual would exclusively go into Walgreens, basically be notified on what are the different products across that store that they could use their debit card for. That $250 a quarter, $1,000 a year carries over quarter to quarter. At the same time, they still would be able to use the mail or online sources also. Stayed pretty flat, didn't change, but still a very, very strong benefit at $2,500 as far as dental goes. $200 vision, $2,000 hearing. Again, both of those benefits are every 2 years. 36 one-way traffic or transportation modes. A lot of people ask me, well, what the heck is it? They got to come home, right? You know, this is 36 one-way. Well, maybe they get a ride there. Maybe a family member basically picks them up, meets them at the doctor's office, and comes home with them. I will tell you, though, as long as the individual is 18 years or older, if they wanted a caregiver, a family member, a friend to accompany them during that transportation, during that ride, they certainly could do that. Again, the individual would have to be would have to be over 18 years old. And a little added information around the travel benefit. Our members would need to call 72 hours prior. At the same time, it's a 50-mile radius one way. You know, people are going to, well, what if it's 51? Hey, there's certainly a case by case. I wouldn't recommend that you present it or sell in that manner, but it's 50 miles, round trip. I think I said one way, but each way it's 50 miles that an individual used. So it could be a total, if their doctor happened to be 50 miles away from them, it could be a total of 100 miles that we would give them access to. You have the PERS program once again in the market, in acupuncture and chiropractic also. So real quick, before we go to our next slide, this is a very, very strong plan for us. You can see some pretty rich benefits here. If we go back, and I'm not asking you to go back, John, but if we even look at what we had in Oklahoma, you had definitely not as strong and as aggressive. We really have a strong hold of this market, basically, as far as El Paso goes. But at the end of the day, there's still a great, basically, opportunity for individuals out there. And I look at every one of us as agents, not as, we refer to ourselves as sales agents, and we talk about sales and growing our business and our opportunity, but I look at us as educators. I look at us as individuals out there making sure that individuals understand what the different options are that they have. We're out there letting them know. We're not putting a half Nelson on somebody, making them sign up on a plan. No, we're saying, hey, man, based on your situation, this is what you have an opportunity for. Would you be interested in a plan that had help me, I've fallen and can't get up, that had a debit card that you could walk right into a Walgreens and get $250 worth of, over-the-counter products every single quarter, up to $1,000 a year. I mean, that's what a great benefit we have there. Next plan, John. So we look now at basically our plan that we have. This is for the San Antonio market. If you're not really familiar with, I'll take that back. This isn't San Antonio. This is basically our Houston market and our Austin market plan. Harris County is basically, that's the heart of Houston. And then we look at Travis there, and Travis is actually the heart of Austin, Texas, the capital of our great state. We have the OTC benefit card once again. We have dental of $2,500 in that plan. We have basically the $2,000 and the $200 regarding vision. That's every 2 years, and hearing. 24 one way on traffic or on transportation. We have our nurse line, 4 visits for foot care, and the acupuncture and chiropractic plans are also in this market. Next slide. So then this is our plan that we specifically have also this would also be in the Austin market, or excuse me, not the Austin market. This would be our Houston market for Harris also. And in this scenario, we see it's a plan that, we have that OTC benefit and very, very similar benefits to what we just saw before. as far as the 200 and the 2000 every 2 years. We have that 24 nurse. We have the 4-foot, the acupuncture, along with that chiropractic. Next plan. So then this is a plan that we specifically have wrapped around that Austin market. Again, Travis is Austin. And it's a plan that we use that specifically in the state of Texas, in several of our markets. We have a very strong partner by the name of WellMed, and we have a WellMed plan. And this is the plan if an individual wanted to have access to that specific network, this would be their benefits. Next slide. This is another one of our WellMed plans that we have, and this would be down in the Corpus Christi area. And again, if an individual in that Corpus market wanted to access that plan, that would be the plan that they would want to use. And one of the biggest reasons, or the biggest thing, depending on what kind of experience you have with a Medicare Advantage plan, your number one objection, or really what you're dealing with out there specifically, hey, there's definitely not a premium on this plan. We don't even have co-payments or co-insurance on it. Is hey, my doctor, I want to maintain my relationship with my doctor. So, while we do see a lot of these individuals that use that Band-Aid type of medicine out there as far as just going to emergency room, there are still individuals that you'll run into that do have a relationship with a physician and want to maintain it. Next slide, I think it's going to be our El Paso slide. So again, we have that WellMed plan also offered in that El Paso market. And I showed you at the top of the slides for Texas, our non-WellMed plan. And this would be, again, if you wanted to access the WellMed network. Go ahead, John. Another WellMed plan down around what we call the Rio Grande Valley, down on the border. Again, these are the benefits for an individual who wanted to access their WellMed network. Go ahead. So now we move into the Dallas-Fort Worth area. You see that our plan stayed pretty flat here. We didn't change anything. These are the 8 counties that wrap around, or really the 6 counties that wrap around the Dallas County and Fort Worth, Tarrant County area. Our benefits, again, stayed flat in this scenario, but we still have that $175 a quarter. We have basically our dental at $2,000, vision at $200, again, every 2 years. For that vision, and hearing at $2,000 every 2 years, 24 one-way rides. And we have our nurse line and 4 visits for foot care. Next slide, John. So this is our San Antonio market. Again, stayed flat, didn't degrade it, but kept the benefits, where they were at. You see our benefits in there. Maybe not as aggressive as some of our other markets, still very competitive in that market. $95 a quarter, again, the $2,000 dental. You have the vision and the hearing every 2 years. Not quite as strong in that scenario at $700, $700, I wish. $70 towards glasses, $105 towards contact, $2,000 towards hearing every basically 2 years on that vision and hearing. 24 transportation. You have that nurse line available. And again, you have 4 visits as far as foot care goes. Go ahead, John. So now we go into our plan, not for WellMed, but specifically in that Corpus Christi area. And you see basically our benefits, very similar to a lot of other plans. This plan, the only add that we had or increase we had was that acupuncture and chiropractor. Again, 10 visits, however the member sees fit, 9 and 1, 5 and 5. We're not going to be here all day talking about the different ratios of how they use that benefit. Go ahead, John. So now we move into one of our big expansion market plans. This plan, we can look at stuff from all the way down at the border of Mexico and Texas, all the way up, very, very up into the northern Texas, on your way to Louisiana or into Arkansas. This plan, basically, we have that 1,500 hours worth of dental. It moved up. It used to be 1,250 in 2017, so we moved it up to 1,500. And added again that acupuncture and chiropractic, plans down there. Again, 10, however the individual would like to use them. Go ahead, John. So this is our plan that we would have down at the Valley again. I know I'm kind of bouncing you all over the big state of Texas, but again, Overall, what did we add? We added that ACU and that Cairo, and we also added that, help me, I'm falling and can't get up. And the thing is that, you're seeing some of this, and as we move through it, what I want you looking at is I want you looking at where the opportunities are, that we're enhancing our plans out there, that we're growing our plans, making them what I look at from an agent's point of view, makes it easier for me to sell, makes it more appealing for, my market to be, interested in what I have to educate them on or what I have to sell. Next slide. So we move into Wisconsin. We moved pretty, obviously a bit more north. We had approximately around 24 counties that we were representing or that we have there in the blue, and we doubled our footprint. Again, you look at that, over 40,000 individuals need to hear from an agent to educate them on, hey, what their opportunities are being a Medicare, Medicaid recipient. Next slide, John. So we have two different plans in this market, and you'll notice that the benefits specifically are exactly the same. This is our plan, which we refer to as our LP1, or our, at the very top up there, our H39, 3794-002 plan. This is our plan that the way that it's set up in this state is our plan that we put our expansion counties on, that we are actually growing our market with. But all in all, some of those benefits you see, up that benefit as far as dental went, $2,000, added the personal emergency response system, already pretty rich in the aspect of 36 transportation, 36 as far as rides go, that ACU, that chiropractor. This plan also has a fitness program. A lot of times you don't see that benefit in a lot of our plans out there, a silver sneakers or a silver and fit, depending what carrier, what you're more comfortable with, or what you've what you have in your market. But that's a great benefit that we have. We don't see that a really high utilization. Again, folks don't have the access to transportation as easily as maybe any of us here on the phone. So that's a great benefit that they have there in the Wisconsin market. Next slide, John. So this is what we call our LP plan. You'll see those benefits match. You'll notice at the very, very top, all of the counties are blue because there is an expansion done on that plan code. Well, we use one plan to expand. I'm not going to get into that and break down why that is. I don't like it in the aspect that it makes it a little more confusing for agents in that scenario. But as long as you understood, hey, really that LP1 would probably be the best plan to sell. The first plan we went over, your benefits are exactly the same. And definitely if you were in that expansion area, that would be your only opportunity as far as selling somebody in that western motion as we expanded in the state of Wisconsin. Next slide, John. So we've kind of wrapped up basically some of the benefits. Again, I only covered 5 of those states in the central region. But I want to touch on a couple other things, of why it's a good idea for you to do business. Why United Healthcare? What's in it for me? Again, as that independent business owner, you have many, many choices out there. Working with Premier, John showed basically all the slides. Why should you do business with basically United Healthcare? Well, first of all, accurate payments. Everybody likes to get paid. On-time payments. CMS has guidelines specifically on how an individual is paid, and United Healthcare has worked very hard to maintain that. John and I remember many, 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 many years ago that it most certainly was not that way with United Healthcare for sure. We're very dual SNP focused. You can see the growth in our organization and in our footprint and the benefits that we have. That we as much as we're very excited about the AARP Med Sup or the AARP Medicare Complete, or maybe CIP, depending on what market you are in, the care improvement, RPPOs and LPPOs. Our company is very, very focused on dual SNP. Resources, I'll go over some of those other resources that you have access to, that I see with some experience around with some of my competitors, some of the other carriers in this dual SNP space, that I think makes us pretty unique. And I think we're always out there looking for unique selling points. How do we differentiate ourselves as an agent, as an agency? What do we do different than our competitor? I'm always looking for those opportunities. And, just examples such as this, the education, the support, not only basically from your upline, Premier, but also through basically a carrier, such as myself. So, I mean, these are things that I feel basically make us stand out and unique in that scenario, and a reason that you would want to do business with United Healthcare. Next slide, please, John. So our marketing, it's one of the ways I think that I've experienced as far as I've had an opportunity to work with, a field marketing organization out there that was contracted with over 20 basically different carriers. And I asked them, where's your toolkit? Where are the marketing products or items that you have that are already CMS approved that I could just drop an agent or an agency's name in and go out there and market with? These items that we're looking at here, there's no charge for these items. You would access this by being, obviously, you want to be licensed and appointed and certified basically on the plan within the states that you do business in. But you could go in there and order these and have this stuff personalized for different kind of field strategies that you would want to do in your community. Obviously, we have flyers out there. You have large pull-up banners. You see at the bottom there that, hey, let's put your phone number on there. There's birthday cards. There's different kind of window clings that you could do and working with different providers in your market. A lot of different ideas that maybe for another call we could talk about, specific kind of strategies that we've seen that I have an opportunity to view across our nation and certainly across the central region. What do other agents do? How are they accessing their markets, or where are they finding these dual SNP eligible individuals? Next slide, John. So Jarvis is our way into that toolkit. Jarvis is newly branded for 2018 of a way that individuals access, how to order sales materials, how to order their toolkit, where they go to access their certifications. A ton, a wealth of information there. And I've seen that it has really been a lot easier for agents this next year. This is accessible even on your phone. I don't know how good your eyesight is. I struggle in that scenario, so I at least need a pretty good sized tablet or either my laptop to access it. But on the fly, want to verify a doctor, want to check on something, you have that accessibility basically truly mobile. Where you're at, Jarvis is out there to support you. Next slide, please. So I always want to basically, enroll with confidence in a scenario that I feel strong about what I've just presented and taken an application from an individual. But before I do that, what helps me with that confidence is basically, setting that expectation. You leave somebody's home, whatever product you sold them, and you've given them a pretty good understanding and an idea that they've signed up on that plan and it's good to go. But we all know on our side that basically, hey, it isn't the carrier that approves this. It's CMS at the end of the day. It's Medicare that approves basically the plans that we sell in this space. So I think it's always good that we want to set that expectation. And this flyer with the cell phone on it over to the right-hand side, that's kind of a guide map that I recommend that you go over, that's in every one of our sales kits, but basically you go over and it sets that expectation. I don't like surprises. If I'm driving down the road, I don't like a deer driving, running up in front of me. I want to, be aware that, hey, I'm in an area that, hey, might have some deer out there. So maybe I need to slow down. Maybe I need to be with a little bit extra, precaution or paying attention to the road. Well, our members are the same way. They want to understand what's next. Not you just sign them up, leave them, throw a couple business cards at them, and go to the next one. You want to set that expectation. You want to let them know, hey, you're going to be getting an acknowledgement letter. You're going to be getting your new member kit. It's going to have your over-the-counter catalog in it. If you did have that debit card benefit in your market, or if that was one of your benefits for your members, hey, there's an application. They fill it out. It's not basically, are they allowed to get it or not, but they still have to sign up for that. Or there's a phone number that they could sign up online. But kind of letting them know you're going to be getting a welcome call. You're going to be getting a health risk assessment. If you get basically a caller ID that pops up on your phone that says United Healthcare minus the E because it's so long, it won't carry that E in the caller ID space, take that call. Take that call because that's somebody there that's willing and wanting to help you and making sure that you're able to access all of the benefits that you've just signed up for. Next slide, John. So This information will be being sent out to you, the contacts, my counterparts across the nation. Maybe you do business in the West or the Northeast or the Southeast, and this is some of that contact information that John will be following up with any kind of questions that we uncover in the chat. I want to thank you basically for the opportunity to speak with you today. I look forward to in the future having this opportunity again to either talk to you about some different things that United Healthcare is doing, the ways we can support and help you grow your business, maybe some of the other different plans that we work with. But I really do appreciate your attention and your attendance today. Next slide, John. And I'll pass that ball back to you, Mr. Dubas.
Thank you, Steve. I really appreciate it. One of the reasons why Premier Marketing wants to do business with United Healthcare is the fact that, as Steve referenced, they are the big gorilla in the market, but they're that way for a reason. They have the experience in the market, which is a big thing that you have to deal with the dual market. They have the expertise, as Steve just demonstrated. They have the marketing support. They have people in the field that can help you, agent managers that can help you with your particular questions that you have, marketing strategies. It's a way to get some additional support that Steve has referenced there as well. One of the things that came up on the questions was, I'm in Ohio. I keep running into MAGI and PhD, can't tell me what the Medicaid level is. How do I advise a client on their cost with an unknown Medicaid level? Steve, you have an idea on how to address that one?
So the biggest, it's a good question, and it definitely is a challenge. We have it in the Houston market. We're also running through a lot of our markets in Ohio, the MMP, plan out there through the state, and it definitely can be a challenge. What I would recommend you doing is working closely with your local agent managers, and if you're struggling finding out who that is, reach out to John, and I can help basically nail down who that agent manager would be. I was in conversations with several of them just in the last couple of days, and the sales director actually several times this morning. I've actually talked to Mr. Dennis Wildman. So what I'd like to do is help you in that scenario, so you're not struggling with that, and you're able to set that right expectation with your prospect and hopefully to be a member. So what really the best thing to do is really get you in contact with basically some local support, and that scenario would be really the best answer, John.
Okay, thank you. And what we'll do for you, the person that asked that question, is we'll make certain that you are connected with your local support for United Healthcare and help facilitate that relationship, because that will also help you with different marketing strategies and opportunities that may exist in your market. And we want to make certain that you have your fair piece of the pie as well. One of the things that we're going to do very quickly now is give you some additional information as to why you want to do this stellar program through our organization. And it is the fact that we do offer discounted, coverage to agents contracted with our organization. Keep in mind, when you take out this policy, one of the things that's different with it versus some other, offered by other organizations, is it covers all carriers. You have the opportunity to do that, even if they're not with Premier Marketing. And that's a solid point for folks that are independent insurance agents who may have contracts with multiple organizations and look to cover themselves in that scenario. We also offer a discounted way of keeping your licenses. So if you're not one of the grandfathered folks, we have continuing education courses online available to you at a discount. We also offer a simplified means of contracting. We went through some of the vast portfolio that we have with our organization. This is a program that enables you to set up an agent profile and contract with multiple organizations without having to go through a whole bunch of the manual paperwork. We also offer different training programs and resources that address different topics on different programs and on different marketing opportunities. And one of the things that we're going to do as part of the follow-up to today's presentation is make certain that you have the links that help you understand the different levels of assistance available to people in different portions of the country through a direct link to the CMS guidelines and to a nice piece from the National Council on Aging that I think that you will find very, very helpful, in addition to other resources that will come along as part of the follow-up to today's presentation. We do offer a lot of electronic support as well. You, as an agent, you know how big a push there is for people to do some things electronically. We offer that technology to the agents that are contracted with our organization, including a listing of the different electronic options for different Medicare products, and including access to the Medicare Center, which is a program that allows you to do some things remotely through email and stay compliant. One of the other programs that we offer and have rolled out here in the last year is an exclusive program to put your social media efforts on autopilot. It's Coverage Made Easy. It's a program you can enroll in, and they help you make certain that the information you're putting out there is compliant and going out on a regular basis without you having to do a whole heck of a lot to support it. Additionally, we want to make certain that any program you contract with, you have the opportunity to visit folks about that program. So we do offer custom contact lists specifically for Medicare supplement and ancillary programs where you can cold call for those programs. Obviously, you can't cold call for Medicare Advantage or PDP programs, but we do offer different unique community marketing-based programs as well. Retail marketing, believe it or not, it is Walmart time. We're going to be having a webinar on that this week as well. We also offer a unique approach that's particularly effective in the dual community in approaching and working with faith-based organizations, a complete module on how you go about doing that, and a way to contact folks directly through lists that we provide to you without cost. We also work very carefully with and thoroughly with different providers that deliver the services that programs such as United Healthcare's dual special needs plans deliver, including the medical group that Steve has referenced in numerous circumstances in the state of Texas. The carriers sometimes do have additional marketing opportunities. That's one of the reasons why we mentioned whomever asked that question in Ohio. Sorry, because I just see the question, I don't see who asked it. Making certain that we tie you into the carrier support to make certain that all the opportunities available through those carriers are available to you, specifically United Healthcare's dual special needs plans, because they are one of the most supportive programs in the industry. There are different internet lead programs that are available to you as well, and we do have a distinctive direct mail support program that is production based on the number of applications that you write in a month. The programs are deeply discounted on a cost basis for a 1,000-piece mailer. We'll get you additional information on that as well. Additionally, we realize that you have options that you can utilize to work with different programs such as United Healthcare. We want to be the organization you want to work with, not just for United Healthcare dual special needs plans, particularly for it, but other programs as well. And we want the opportunity to earn your business. That said, you have a decision right now. Remember the memorable baseball player, Yogi Berra. You've come to a fork in the road, you've got to take it. So you've got to determine if this is a valuable piece to your marketing plan. I personally feel it is. A longtime producer in the dual special needs field, I always feel that you get paid twice when you work the dual SNP market. You get your commissions on a regular basis, paid very promptly when you work with United Healthcare, but you also get that intrinsic reward that you feel when you walk out of the house and you have so positively affected the people that you deal with that are your prospects and your clients. Once you have that integrated into your personal marketing plan, make your mind up, move forward, contract, certify, study, commit yourself to actively market and follow through. And the old saying is, when all is said and done, more is said than done. Don't procrastinate, let's do it. This is contact information for our team here in the Dallas market. We do work across the country as well. You do have other marketing support programs with Premier as well. So if you're working with another marketing team, we most certainly want to help facilitate that communication with the team as well. You can reach any of us at the 1-800-365-8208 number. You do have our direct extensions as well, myself, Justine Sawyers, and Carrie Burnell, and our email addresses so you can contact us at your convenience. Keep in mind, we will be sending out additional follow-up information for you. Make certain that you have the resources available to be successful in your marketing program. And we look to make certain that United Healthcare's dual special needs plan is an integral part of that marketing program. It allows you to market year-round to a population that really needs your help. And as Steve demonstrated through some of the numbers in the different markets, it's a beckoning market for you. We appreciate the time that you have spent with us here today. Watch for the follow-up. Go to premiersmi.com to learn of other training and marketing opportunities. Watch for additional communication from us, and we thank you for coming on the line. We look forward to marketing with you in the future as well. And that said, we wish you good selling. Thanks so much, and have a great day.